Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into one of the most direct, no-nonsense spiritual teachings you'll ever come across. This all comes from the sage Sri Ramana Maharshi. Back in 1902, he was observing a vow of silence, and people would ask him these deep, profound questions. He answered them simply by writing, and what he wrote became this incredible, concise guide to figuring out who you really are.
And it all begins and ends with this single, incredibly powerful question. Who am I? That's it. That's the key. It's the starting point, it's the path, and it's the destination, all rolled into one. So let's start to unpack this.
So, how do you figure out who you really are? Well, Ramana Maharshi's method has us start by first figuring out what we're not. It's a process of negation called niti, which literally means not this, not this. Think of it like you're a sculptor, and you're chipping away all the excess stone to reveal the masterpiece that's already inside.
Okay, so the first and most obvious layer we chip away, the physical body. This body of flesh and bone, well, the teaching says it's something you have, not something you are. It's your vehicle in this world, for sure, but it's not you. Next up, the five senses. Hearing, touch, sight, taste, smell. These are the windows through which you experience the world. But here's the thing. You are not the window, are you? You're the one looking through it. So these senses, they're just tools. They aren't you either.
And it's the same deal with what are called our organs of action. Our ability to talk, to walk, to grab things. These are just functions. They're things we do, but they don't define our fundamental being, our core identity. So we set those aside too.
All right, now this is the big one. This can be the trickiest step for a lot of us. The teaching says that even your mind, the very thing that's processing my words right now, the thing that worries and plans and remembers, that's also not your true self. It's just another instrument, a really subtle and complex one, but still just a tool.
So, if you're not the body, not the senses, not your actions, and not even your thoughts, what's left? Is there anything? Well, according to this teaching, what remains when you strip all that away is pure consciousness itself. And this isn't some empty void. Its very nature is described as Satchidananda, pure existence, pure consciousness, and pure bliss. So, if the mind isn't who we are, then what on earth is it? The teachings describe the mind as the very source of our reality. It's like a movie projector. The world we see and experience isn't out there so much as it's being projected from in here.
This quote is just brilliant. It perfectly captures how the mind works. It's not just passively watching things. Like a spider, it actively spins this complex web of reality from its own substance. And here's the crucial part. Just as it can spin the web, it also has the power to pull it all back in.
So let's break this mind thing down even further. It's not one big solid entity. It's really just a bundle, a constant stream of thoughts. And get this, the very first thought, the linchpin that holds the whole thing together, is the I thought, that feeling of me, of being a separate individual. Every other thought you have about him, her, this, that, only shows up after that root I thought has established itself.
Okay, so we've got the theory. We know the I thought is the root of the whole maze. So, what do you do about it? This is where we shift from just understanding the idea to actually putting it into practice. This is the method of self-inquiry.
The entire practice is really about a radical shift in the direction of your attention. Almost all day, every day, our minds are turned outwards, right? Our attention flows out through our senses, chasing after things in the world. The goal here is to reverse that flow, to become inward turned, and trace that attention all the way back to where it's coming from.
And here it is, the core technique. It's so simple, it's genius. A thought pops into your head, any thought at all. Instead of following it, you stop and ask yourself, wait, who is having this thought? The answer, of course, is going to be me. And right at that moment, you pivot and ask with all your focus, okay, then who am I? And what happens is you're starving that original thought of the attention it needs to survive. You're redirecting all that energy back to its source, and the thought just fizzles out.
So let's say you do this. You keep tracing every thought back to its source with this question, who am I? Where does this path ultimately lead? What's the destination? What happens when the mind finally becomes still? The destination is a state called mona, or true silence. And we're not just talking about being in a quiet room. This is a profound, deep, internal silence. It's the peace that comes when that root I thought, the source of all the mental chatter, finally dissolves back into the self. It's a state of just being.
This is such a wonderful way to think about surrender. The luggage is all our baggage, right? Our worries, our fears, our ego that insists it has to control everything. The train is the self, that greater power that's already effortlessly carrying the whole show. We suffer because we're on the train, but we're still insisting on carrying our heavy bags on our own heads. The invitation is just put the luggage down, trust the train.
And this brings us to the ultimate payoff, the final realization. In this state, all the separations we're used to just melt away. The world out there, the individual me in here, and even the idea of a separate God up there, they're all revealed to be nothing but different expressions of one single, undivided reality, the self. It's all just one thing, manifesting in infinite ways.
And so we're left with one final question to ponder, which brings us full circle. The entire path is about tracking that I thought to its lair and watching it dissolve. So think about this. If the I, the observer, the very center of your entire universe, disappears, what's left?